Welcome back to another training session from BIS, Business Intelligence Systems and Revel Systems. Today we're going to be talking about inventory. How do we actually do a physical inventory, how to do an inventory, how to do waste management, all that stuff. Now, a lot of people ask about this. Now, to do inventory in Revel, there are actually 5 different ways to do it. One is we can do it manually from the Management Console, which is the screen right here. Number 2, we can do it also from the iPad, from the point of sale, which we will do it later on today. And the third way, we can do it in Excel. And there's other 2 ways which we're not going to discuss in this video. One is physical inventory, which we'll probably do a specific video, a separate video for it. And the last way to do inventory is through API, and that requires coding and programming and things like that, so we're not going to be discussing that. So what we're going to do right now, we're going to focus on first is how to do inventory from the Management Console. So right now we're under inventory, and I have opened several windows, one on products, one on ingredients. And so we're going to do inventory on products first. So right now, 7-Up, I only have 0. But let's say when I did inventory, we actually have 7. So if you click on these 3 buttons and I do actual, you'll see what the actual is. So there's 2 spots here, or 2 areas. The reason behind that is I can put, let's say I put 10 there. And the other part, quantity 2, I will discuss it when we talk about ingredients. Now, when you look at this adjust cost checkbox, basically what that does is, for example, if we have 10 bottles of water and each water is like 100 fills, that means all of them are 1 kd. If I actually waste 5 of them and I select this checkbox, that will actually make the cost to 200 fills. So it's twice. So I will leave that up to you whether you want to use it or not. Same thing will happen when you do wastage, which you'll see that as well. But anyway, so I'm not going to use that right now. I'm just going to put 10, and I'm going to set it to actual. Now you'll notice that the inventory is going to reset to 10 right there. And I apologize because it looks like the internet is a little bit slow. And here we go. So now we have 10 in actual. Now, another thing I'm going to do inventory from Excel, which is probably the most common way because I can do batch process or a lot of different items. I actually have I created a class for some of these ingredients. I called it my ingredients to make it easier for me to look at. Now, one thing you can do is I just change the unit to stock unit. So now you can see the stock unit, not actually the cooking unit. So right now, for example, beef patties, we have 663. If I want to do actual here, so let's say, for example, I have 10 or 20 boxes, and let's say one of the boxes is open, and so I have 3 units because one of the boxes is open, so 20 boxes plus 3 actual patties. So this allows you to, the reason you have the quantity 2 is so you can take care of that particular issue. So if you have an open container or something like that, you can still count it. So now we just did it, and now this is the actual inventory. So this is actually the first way. So I'm going to do it with Excel. So if you click on these 3 buttons, if you click on these 3 buttons, you can go to Export, Excel Customized. And under Filter Items, you can actually choose which category or which class or which vendor you want to export. So I actually made a specific class for my products. I call the soft drink. So I'm just going to use that. So I only enter those. And now under additional columns, what additional columns do I want to export as well? So I can do the waste, the actual, you choose whatever you like. So even if you want to do receive, you can do that, but I'm just making it simple right now, so I'm just doing actual and waste. Okay, so now we can do export. Now it requires an email because it will send the file there, but I'm sending it to my email right now. It takes about a couple of minutes to arrive, so we'll check our email and see if it arrived yet. Let's see, and it looks like it's there already. So if I go ahead and download it, we can see the class that we specifically chose to show. So here is the list, here as it opens. So it's a smaller file because I didn't export everything. It's just these products that I put them in a specific class, soft drinks, that I can change. Now, let's see. There's an actual quantity right there, column. You can actually update that. So let's say 7-Up is 10, and then 20, 30, 40, 50, and 60 for the water. Now, one additional thing that you have to fill out as well is the actual cost update, yes or no. That's that little checkbox, if you remember, to adjust the cost or not. I'm just going to say no for all of these, but that's up to you whether you want to use it or not. This is a common error that people get to import. They forget this column, so make sure you fill that out, or you will get an error. Now you can also do waste, but I'm not going to do waste right now, and you can do the waste cost update as well, but we're not going to do it. We're going to do it in a bit. And here you can also put the adjust cost yes or no here as well. Okay, so let's save this file right now and go and upload it back into Revel. So we go here, choose file, and that's the file that we just did. And let me just put my email right there, not my phone number. And let's give it a second here so it updates. But let's see if it sends an email so I can look at the results. Here's the email that it just sends me, so let's take a look. And it looks like it imported everything correctly. There's no errors or anything like that. So I'm actually going to go to the inventory and see what my actual is. Did it change or not? Remember, we had 10, 20, 30, 40, just to make it simple. So let's just look at soft drink class right now. I'm filtering with that. Now, if you look at, you see the actual has actually updated based on what we did with Excel. So it worked perfectly. Now, we're going to do the same thing with Excel, but we're going to just update the waste, but now we're going to do it for the ingredients. And again, you can go to the three buttons, do export, and then you can filter what you want. So we have a class called My Ingredients. We're just going to select that one. I did it specifically for this demo, but you'll have your own classes as well. Now I'm just going to do the waste column. And just to make it simple, I'm not going to select anything else. And let's export it, put our email address, and now we have to just wait a minute or two to get the email. Let's go check it, see if it arrived. And there it is. So let's go ahead and update the wastage for these items. So there's that waste quantity. You can put your wastage here for each item. So let's do wastage, say 199, 88, and 77 for the honey. And then the cost update, I'm going to select also no for all of them. And there you go. I'm going to save the file and I'm going to upload it again. So just go to the same place, choose file, and make sure I put my email, import, and then let's look at our email, see what the results of the email. So let's look at it and see if I have any errors. Oh, I do have an error. Oh, I forgot. There. It looks like I didn't put the remarks field with the wastage. That is a required field. So I have to give it a reason why we're wasting. So let's go back and fix that right now. So if we go to the Excel file, there. Let's look at the. Oops, wrong file. The basic remarks. You can just put whatever the reason is. Of course, this is just a test, so I'm just going to put test and spell it incorrectly. Okay, save, and then let's re-import it again. And put my email, and let's look at the file if it arrived. So here we go, and let's see if it imported properly. It looks like it's perfect this time. It went through, no errors. So to actually look at it, to see what the wastage looked like, let's actually look at a report. There's a report that you can actually detail all this to see if it actually went through or not. Okay, so if you go to BIS, this is our URL, of course, so I go to reports. Under other reports, there are two major reports. One is called ingredient inventory summary, and the other one is called product inventory summary. So we're going to be using the ingredient inventory summary, not the product right now, because we just did the wastage on the ingredients. So let's open it right now. Okay, and let's look at the class that we are specify, which is my ingredients. And let's see the wastage. Let's choose the date. Okay, just for today. And let's see what happens right now. And there we go. And let's look at those are the items under my class, and you can see the wastage, exactly what I put in my Excel. So that looked like it worked perfectly as well. So if we look at the same reports for the products, let's look at that one right now since we did the updates before. And we'll look also at today. And we'll look at soft drinks only. And here's our list. And you'll notice that the actual on-hand quantity has been updated as per what we put in Excel. So that's a report that you can look at it. So you notice the 7-Up, we did it manually. The rest we did it all within Excel. Now, the last way to do inventory, which we're going to talk about today, is going to be via the iPad. So we're going to continue this video. I switched on to my iPad. Now, before we start, when you look at the screen, there's a part you probably didn't see. If you look at the bottom of the screen, there's a little blue button that has a check mark, which is inventory. So I just want to show you something before. If I go to the products, you can see under soft drinks, see they have, it has the actual number because I selected the track in inventory option in these items. So it actually shows you the number that you have in stock for these retail items. So actually, if I actually order a Coca-Cola, you'll notice that the number will decrease. So let's click on it. So you see it was 30, now it's 29. So this is makes it a lot easier to see what you have, especially for the products, the retail items that you have. Okay, so let's just close this order. I'm just going to pay for it cash, and now I'm going to go back to inventory, so I can do an inventory from Revel, from the point of sale. So I clicked on the inventory. Now under that item, I can type any name of product or ingredient, and I can actually do an actual or wastage manually here, just like we did in the management account. So I'll just search for cola. So I'm not going to do it, but you'll get the idea. So you have the cola right now, and you see it. I have 29 units, just like I did. I saw it on the iPad. Let's say I want to do some wastage. I can put the wastage right there and put the amount. Let's say I have wastage 5, and the reason is test. And once I do it, the operation went perfectly, and it changed it right away. So now you see that the quantity is 24. This is actually a product, but you can do the same thing also for ingredients. So let's choose an ingredient. Let's search for another ingredient. One of the ones that we work on was like beef patties. So let's just search for beef patties. We have 140 units. Let's say we will do 41 wastage. So I'm going to put it 41. And the reason is also test, and press OK, and there you go. And now the number dropped. Another item that we were doing inventory for, which is an ingredient, which is olives. So let's look at, we have black olives, so let's search for that as well. And right away, these are how many grams I have. So let's do the actual. I have 1,000, or actually 10,000 grams. And I can choose if I want to adjust costs or not, depending on your choice or your policy, how you want to do it. And I can also specify which unit, but I'm just using gram right now. And there I just updated it, automatically updated in the system, and now that's the new actual for the black olives, which is 10 kilos or 10,000 grams. And here you can actually see that actually you can do it whether from the management console or the back end. Now, one more we want to do is 7-Up. I remember we had 10 in the system, so let's just look it up here. 7, and there you go. We found 7-Up, right, the first one. And you see there exactly 10. Let's do the actual is 15, and let's update it, and then automatically it updates it right away in the system. And if I go to the soft drinks, you'll notice that 7-Up changed right away, so now it's 15. And you will notice the same thing reflected on the management console. So there you have it. This video completes our video for inventory. Just to summarize, there is 5 ways we can do inventory. 1, we can do it in the management console manually. We can do it through Excel. We can do it through the iPad, which is the point of sale. And the 2 other ways, which is physical inventory and API, which we are not discussing in this video, but we will do a dedicated video just for that, where you can see how to do physical inventory. If you have any questions, I hope you enjoyed this video and found it helpful. If you have any questions, just send us a mail to support@biskw.com, and we'll get back to you. Thank you very much.